this is almost like an evergreen segment for this time, which is funny to me. So that's that withstanding, you guys know how I feel about the NFL Combine and my issues with the NFL Combine. Now, the issues that I've had and that I currently still have with the NFL Combine are they haven't changed. I still think the NFL Combine is a lazy excuse to help scouters, team evaluators do their job. Instead of, I don't think that there's nothing in the combine that can simulate an actual game and that can show me. There's nothing in the combine that's going to wow me that didn't wow me on the field. And I still have my gripes about why are defensive linemen, why are offensive linemen running the 40-yard dash. When I look at Zach Martin, when I look at oh my gosh, Quentin Nelson, I'm sorry. When I look at someone like Chris Jones, the first thing I think, it never crosses my mind. Damn, I wonder what they run in the 40. Like, it just, to me, the only positions that should run the 40 are wide receivers, running backs, and possibly quarterbacks. I don't think every other position needs the 40. It just my gripes about the NFL Combine are well noted. But looking back and listening to a couple of those gripes and a couple of those episodes and listening to my quote unquote vigor and my frustration with the combine, there's kind of a sense and there's kind of a stigma that I hate the combine or I don't see a value in the combine, and that's not true. Everything that I just said and all my gripes about the combine are still there, but there are some benefits. And we kind of saw one this year. Now, this isn't the only benefit, but this kind of helps my case. Combines allow you to get personal and a personal up close view of a player that you possibly wouldn't be able to do if you are scouting them. Now, if you're scouting them, maybe I don't know why you wouldn't be able to, but you're able to sit down, you're able to talk to these players, you're able to understand and get a feel of who they are. And let me see homie's name. And another thing that you're able to do, and I hope that, I don't think it should affect as far as the future or should affect your draft position, seeing as though it can be fixed. But the draft combine is able to uncover things that maybe you as a player didn't even understand. For instance, Kool-Aid McKinstry, who was a football player, I think he played for Alabama, yes. He during the combine, his medical report came back saying that he has a Jones fracture. Maybe he knew, maybe he didn't know, I don't know. But because of the combine, he was able to know that, and now he's able to get the requisite treatment or surgery. You know what I'm saying? There are benefits to the combine. I will nothing that my gripes about it doesn't take away from some of the benefits, but it's still, to me, the issues that I have with the combine are still issues that are there. People doing pointless drills, and you know what it is? And I think I don't want to do this, but I will. I think people, you want to know how the combine and pro days or whatever. Well, let's just say it was combine and pro days. You know how you know that scouts and NFL teams put way too much stock in it? Because look at some of the players that had excellent combines and pro days that didn't turn out good in the NFL. For instance, Zach Wilson. If you would have looked at Zach Wilson, yes, there were some flashes of positivity and flashes of greatness at BYU. But if you would have looked at Zach Wilson like throughout the whole season, nothing would have told you that he should be a high pick in the draft. Not saying that he shouldn't have been drafted, but he should not have been a high pick in the draft. But because he had an incredible combine, an incredible pro day, he gets picked where he gets picked. But if the teams would have done their due diligence and actually watched him live and went to some of his games, you would know, oh, this guy is not a top round draft pick at all. All I'm saying is this. There are some drastic issues that I have with the combine. But with me saying that, that doesn't mean that there aren't really high positives. And I'm not saying that you should do away with the combine, but there should be drastic changes. Changes that I doubt are going to happen because we all love to talk about how the offensive lineman has a better 40 time than some quarterback or something. Which, in what way, shape, or form does that ever matter? Why do I care that a Notre Dame offensive lineman has a faster 40 time than Patrick Mahomes? like what? Who cares? Don't get me wrong. I still think that whatever offensive lineman, if they're good enough to be drafted, no matter if they're fast or not, then, they should be drafted. But what? And again, another talent slip up was Tom Brady, the GOAT. Now, yes, I understand that at Michigan he wasn't what he eventually turned out to be in the NFL, but he was damn good enough to. Bro, Tom Brady at Michigan was still better than a 6th round pick. Which means teams, including the New England Patriots, passed on him several times. Which should tell you that but they passed on because of his measurements and because, how slow of a 40 time he had. You know who had a really quick 40 time? And you know who had a brilliant, like a great combine? Jamarcus Russell. I don't know about his 40 time, but he had a really good combine. Oh, you know who else had a really fast combine? Terrell Pryor. What I'm saying is there's just too much stock that's held with the combine. And I think the biggest issue is it could negatively affect someone that is deserving of a high draft pick because the scouts were too lazy or just didn't find the time to go watch these players live, which doesn't make sense to me. And trust me, while we're talking about the NFL Combine, this isn't just me bashing the NFL, or this isn't just an NFL problem when we talk about scouts and, teams not doing their due diligence. It happens in almost every sport. I mean, a really good example could be or was Nikola Jokic. How is it that a 2-time MVP, possibly a 3-time MVP this year, a finals MVP, and an NBA champion and somebody that's widely regarded one of the best players that we could have possibly ever seen fall to the second round. Or another player, a defensive player of the year, a generational defensive talent, and a four-time NBA champion named Draymond Green falls to the second round. What I'm saying is, to me, the combine was built in. I understand that not everyone can do a pro day. You can't go to every single game. But if you have somebody on your board, if you have somebody that you think is good enough, is important enough to draft, why would you not do the due diligence to go and see them multiple times? And the combine it allows scouts to be lazy, which is why you see a lot of teams suffer. Again, I understand that I've kind of strayed away from the point. The point is that I'm not saying do away with the NFL combine. I'm not saying that there aren't benefits. But to me, there are more negatives that outweigh the positives when we talk about the combine. And because of that, I don't understand, or I guess I understand it to a certain extent, but it should not be glorified as the end all be all like it is right now. Because to me, it honestly negatively affects not only the draft process, but it negatively affects the importance of an NFL or of a college football season in terms of its connection to you getting drafted. Because as we've seen on a bunch of occasions, these teams, some of these teams, a lot of these teams, most of these teams care more about what you do in spandex and tights and running a 40 than you do on a football field. And to me, that is crazy. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.